23 UN member states under the auspices of Office for Outer Space Affairs (UNOOSA) are exploring strategies, tools and means of acquiring accurate data for space weather monitoring forecasting. Ms. Sharafat Gadimova, UNOOSA Austria, said developing capabilities in space weather was one of many space activities UNOOSA supported member states. Gadimova said that the international community will explore strategies to improve the collection, exchange in delivering space weather data modeling, forecasting methods so as to enhance accuracy, reliability, and interoperability.
The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs has a long history in assisting member states in the use of space science, space technology, and space cooperation in outer space activities. The Office serves as secretariat to the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space and its subcommittees, the Scientific and Technical Subcommittee and Legal Subcommittee. ISWI have provided a framework for collaboration between scientific teams that serve as an example of remarkable international work in instrument operation, data collection, analysis, and the publication of scientific results. Space weather is just one of many activities we support. In addition, our office also supports the International Committee on Global Navigation Satellite Systems, or ICEG, which convenes under the umbrella of the United Nations and serves to promote cooperation on matters related to global navigation satellite systems. And we consider space weather one of the most practical applications of GNSS. Specifically, the ICD works to enhance coordination among GNSS providers. That means looking at the great compatibility, interoperability, and transparency, and promoting the greater use of GNSS capabilities to support sustainable development, particularly in developing countries. In this workshop, the international community will discuss strategies to improve the collection, exchange, and delivery of space weather data modeling and forecasting methods, and how to improve accuracy, reliability, and interoperability.
Uche Nnaji, Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, represented by Dr. Matthew Adepoju, Director General of NASA, said space weather was a global phenomenon which required a collective international action because it was impacting technological infrastructure in orbit.
Space weather is a global phenomenon that demands collective international action. Its growing impact on our technological infrastructure becomes more evident with each passing day. Nigeria remains committed to playing a leadership role in coordinating these efforts on the African continent and partnership with friends around the world. The outcome of this workshop will no doubt contribute meaningfully to the formulation of relevant national and international policies as well as programs. We assured our global partners that Nigeria will uphold the expected recommendations arising from this gathering, particularly in enhancing the collection, exchange, and delivery of space weather data. We are also reaffirming our commitment to improving operational analysis, modeling, and forecasting methods while promoting best practices aimed at increasing accuracy, reliability, and interoperability. It is my pleasure to use this opportunity to call the attention of global experts on the platform of International Space Weather Initiative to the paradigm shift that is more needed for the world to pay attention to the root cause of extreme weather impact. It is of note that the extreme weather condition, which is usually expressed as hurricane, that has brought monumental damage to properties and lives across the Atlantic Ocean. It is our belief that the root of most of hurricane is from the Sahara Desert of African continent. When is the world going to pay attention to the root cause of such extreme weather conditions?
Adepoju, in his capacity, said that when sunspot groups released coronal mass ejections towards the Earth, it had negative impact on high-frequency radio communication amongst other disruptions.
A moderate solar cycle is by no means a period of inactivity. It is one of the persistent and unpredictable variability. It is during this such cycle that we often experience what scientists call the sunspot surprise. When a seemingly modest sunspot group releases a coronal mass ejection directed towards the planet Earth, the consequences are real and global. A single moderate solar flare can disrupt high frequency radio communication, which pose risk to transoceanic aviation and emergency responses are activated. Two, this can actually degrade satellite navigational signals, threatening the precision of everything from maritime navigation to the financial time span system that underpin our global economy. This also increased the atmospheric drag on low Earth orbit satellites, altering their trajectories and threatening vital infrastructure we have placed in orbit. For developing nations such as Nigeria, and indeed for the entire African continent, which is advancing rapidly in digital transformation, our vulnerability to this phenomenon is growing. Also, our dependence on satellite technology for banking, telecommunications, broadcasting, weather forecasting, and national security makes the understanding and prediction of space weather not simply a scientific pursuit anymore, but a matter of national and economic importance. This is precisely why this workshop is so critical. The moderate nature of solar cycle 25 presents a valuable opportunity. It offers a manageable yet meaningful environment in which to refine our predictive models, strengthen regional collaboration, build capacity, and raise awareness.
Professor Babatunde Rabiu, chairman of the local organizing committee for the workshop, described the ISWI as a program of international cooperation aimed at advancing space weather science or engaging a combination of instruments for analysis.
We come together in a kind of network to share ideas, information, and data and to develop joint projects. This event is one of such coming together. Nigeria hosted a UN workshop on basic space sciences in 1993. That was October 1993. And again, at the beginning of this International Space Weather Initiative, Nigeria hosted another one in 2011 in the city of Abuja. And this time around, in this dispensation, we are privileged to be hosting another one. And it is hoped that the workshop is going to be very fruitful.
Chief of Defense Space Administration, AVM Larry Ibrahim, said that the precision, reliability, and security of satellite communication, positioning, and surveillance systems were all essential to military operation and could be compromised by adverse space weather conditions.
As nations intensify the reliance on space-based infrastructure for communication, navigation, agriculture, disaster management, and national security, the need to better understand, predict, and mitigate the effect of space weather becomes even more critical. The initiative stands as a beacon of international cooperation, bringing together minds and institutions from every corner of the world to share data, develop models, capacity for space weather resilience. The initiative is more than scientific symposium. It is a celebration of collaboration and teamwork. For the Nigerian Armed Forces, the relevance of space weather is undeniable. The precision, reliability, and security of satellite communication, positioning, and surveillance systems are all essential to military operation and can be compromised by adverse space weather. Thus, enhancing our resilience to these phenomena is central to safeguarding national security and ensuring operational effectiveness. This reality directly aligns with the mandate of the Defense Space Administration, which is to support the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies with space-based solutions for defense and security. Understanding space weather is therefore excuse me, not only a scientific necessity, but also a strategic imperative for mission success and operational readiness and national resilience.
The 5-day UNOOSA and Nigeria workshop through the National Space Research and Development Agencies on the International Space Weather Initiative in Abuja focused on space weather during a moderate solar cycle 25.